This story begins in the mountainous regions of northern Iraq in the year 2003. This was the time when America had attacked Iraq, and Saddam Hussein's government had fallen. War's atmosphere still feels fresh. Destruction signs remain all. Then we see 12-year-old Ahmed, innocent, setting out with his grandmother on a long, hard journey. The two of them have been walking for a long time and look very tired. Actually, they recently heard that prisoners captured during the 1951 Gulf War were now freed from southern Iraq prisons and were returning. Among those prisoners is Ahmed's father, missing for 12 years. He was taken from his home in 1991 by Saddam Hussein soldiers, and since then, there has been no trace of him. In fact, the two are traveling thousands of kilometers in the hope that Ahmed's father might be alive and among those prisoners. Ahmed is now completely tired from walking. He tells his grandmother that we should go back home as he can't walk anymore, but Grandma ignores him. Her eyes hold only stubborn need to find her son. Afterward, she tries hitching rides from cars. Then a truck goes by. Grandma waves to stop it, but the driver doesn't even stop. Ahmed's grandmother gets disheartened by this, but she still doesn't lose hope. Soon, another car comes. Grandma stands in the middle of the road, forcing the driver to stop. Nasiriyah. 1,000 kilometers. He says he can get you to Baghdad, but he'll charge 500 dinars. Hearing this, Ahmed gets angry immediately. He argues with the driver. 500 dinars to go to Baghdad is too much. I'll give 50, not a cent more. You're a thief. But Ahmed's grandmother knows no other ride will come on this deserted road. She quietly hands the driver 500 dinars. Ahmed's still mad, hugging Dad's flute. Keepsake. Ahmed's dream is to become a musician when he grows up, although he has never even seen his father. The driver is a bit of a grumpy man. He asks Ahmed where his parents are. Ahmed explains that his mother has passed away, but he says with great confidence that his father is still alive and is very brave. To cheer Ahmed, Grandma promises she'll someday take him to see Babylon's beautiful gardens. After that, night falls, and the driver stops the car there because the road ahead is dangerous. All Iraq is a war zone. Night travel isn't safe now. To protect himself from the cold, Ahmed puts on his father's old jacket that his grandmother had kept in the bag. Wearing that jacket, Ahmed feels like a soldier. Now, when the grandmother wakes up and sees Ahmed in that jacket, she gets very angry and starts hitting him. She shouts and tells him to take off the jacket. His grandmother doesn't want Ahmed becoming a soldier when grown. War already cost her one son. She tells Ahmed he must study and become a doctor or scientist to save people's lives, not kill others. Hearing the commotion, soldiers rush in and aim guns at Grandma. The driver steps in, calms things, orders them to leave. At night by the fire, the driver tells Grandma, "Shame on you for bringing a child to this dangerous place. 12 years waiting. Kid needs dad. I'm alone." Actually, the driver is an atheist. He says if God existed, so many innocent people wouldn't die in war. He says hope is pointless. The next morning, they reach Baghdad, and when they enter the city, the scene is heart-wrenching. Buildings are destroyed everywhere, and smoke is rising. The driver drops them at a Lawi bus station, returns Grandma's money as he leaves, and says you must handle the rest yourselves. Ahmed takes the money and is very happy. Afterwards, when they inquire at the station, they find out that no bus will go to Nasiriyah today. Hearing this, the grandmother gets very worried. She tells Ahmed to ask someone when the next bus is because she doesn't know how to speak Arabic. She only knows the Kurdish language. While wandering there, Ahmed meets a boy his age named Qasim. Qasim is selling cigarettes there to make a living. The two children quickly become friends. Ahmed tells Qasim that he is going to find his father. Qasim also helps Ahmed. They start selling cigarettes together and have a lot of fun. Old friends. Bus seeks Ahmed, but Ahmed's missing. The bus pulls away. Seeing that, Grandma panics. Yelling from the window, Ahmed and Qasim see the bus leave, chase it. Qasim sprints flat out. At first the driver won't stop, but when Qasim and others shout loudly, he's finally forced to halt the bus. Ahmed runs and gets on the bus. He clings to his grandmother in fear and starts crying. The driver says, "I thought someone was shouting. I don't understand Kurdish." Leaving, Qasim behind bus waves to Ahmed. "Do come back to Baghdad. We'll meet again." It departs for Nasiriyah. On the way, they see US troops everywhere, all searching everyone. Cars burned by the roadside, and fear fills the air. The driver reassures the passengers that they're all safe, tells them all to sleep. Ahmed, afraid, asks his grandma. Then grandma consoles him, lying. No, we won't die. We'll stay here forever. Yet she's afraid inside. Next morning, the bus suddenly breaks down. Checking the bus, the driver finds engine trouble and discovers the fuel has run out completely. The driver gives up and says he won't go any further, as Nasiriyah is too dangerous and he can't risk his life. Hearing this, all the people shout at the driver, but he doesn't listen to anyone and leaves everyone halfway there. Now Ahmed and his grandmother are alone again. They start to walk. The road is very deserted, and there are broken down houses all around. Ahmed finds a doll in a ruin there. Then suddenly, there's the sound of gunshots. Ahmed and his grandmother hide behind a wall in fear. Ahmed begins to tremble. His grandmother says that they should follow the other people. She sends Ahmed to a high place so he can see where the other women are going. Ahmed climbs up and sees that some people are going to the other side of the river. He tells the grandmother the directions to the place, and as he is coming down, his doll falls. After this, they finally reach the Nasiriyah prison. The scene there is very emotional. Many women stand holding photos of their husbands and sons. All are crying and asking for news of loved ones. The grandmother stops at the prison gate and cleans Ahmed's face. She dresses Ahmed in new clothes and combs his hair. In fact, she wants Ahmed to look clean and presentable when he meets his father. Ahmed is also very happy. He thinks his wait will end today, and he will meet his father. The two of them go inside. The officials there have a long list. Ahmed steps forward and tells them his father's name. The official checks the list, but sadly, Ahmed's father's name isn't on the list. Ahmed repeats it, but the man shakes his head no. The official tells them that a mass grave has been found nearby where many bodies are buried. He says they should go and check there, as they might find a clue. Hearing this, Ahmed's patience snaps. He runs off crying, stands in the desolate prison, and screams for his father. His screams send a chill through everyone present. His grandmother consoles him. She has tears in her eyes as well, but she remains strong for Ahmed. Back at the station, they meet Musa from the bus. Seeing Ahmed looking sad, Musa gives him some oranges to eat. Ahmed refuses at first, but then he takes them. They get on a bus heading back to Baghdad. But their luck is bad. This bus also breaks down on the way. The driver makes everyone get off. Angry, Ahmed demands a refund from the driver, as they charge full fare. The driver returns half the money. Night falls. They stop somewhere safe. Musa is with them too. Ahmed and Musa start chatting. Grandma tells him Ahmed wants to be a soldier when he grows up. Then Musa says that when he grows up, he will forget all this. Musa speaks very good Kurdish. The grandmother asks him how he can speak Kurdish so well. Then Musa reveals his secret. He explains that when he was 18, Saddam's army forcibly recruited him. They had made him a soldier. Crying, he admits he was forced to attack Kurdish village. He killed many innocents during Anfal campaign. If he hadn't done so, the army would have killed him. Hearing this, the grandmother is deeply shocked. She becomes enraged. She starts calling Musa a murderer. She thinks that perhaps this is the man who killed her son as well. Ashamed, Musa walks away. The next morning, Ahmed is in a field trying to start an engine to wash his face. But the engine won't start. Just then, Musa comes and helps Ahmed. Ahmed doesn't think Musa is a bad man. Then Ahmed's grandmother comes and pulls Ahmed away from Musa. But Musa doesn't want to leave them alone. He tells the grandmother that a new prisoner has been brought to a nearby mosque and says that it might be her son, Ibrahim. The grandmother doesn't believe him at first, but her love for her son compels her to go there. The three of them go to the mosque. Musa speaks with the sheikh. Then the grandmother goes inside to see the prisoner. Ahmed and Musa are waiting outside. A little later, the grandmother comes out. Her face is downcast. In fact, the prisoner was not Ahmed's father. Their hopes are dashed once again, but Musa doesn't give up. He asks the sheikh. The sheikh says a new mass grave was found not far from here, with many bodies they're missing since 1951. Musa tells the grandmother that they should go there. The grandmother then agrees. They get on a tractor and head toward that place. After that, they come across a truck loaded with bodies. People break down upon seeing them all. These are soldiers who went to war years ago and never returned. Then they finally reach that mass grave. That place looks near apocalyptic. The ground torn up, bones and clothes scattered everywhere around. Thousands arrive, they're searching for their lost loved ones still. Musa goes to the officials to check the list for Ibrahim's name. Ahmed and Grandma watch, hoping for good news. But Musa returned, shaking his head no, since Ahmed's father's name still isn't there either. Grandma's patience is now almost gone. Crushed by grief, she sits down beside a skeleton. The remains were the same clothes her son wore. Seeing this, the grandmother breaks down in tears and, believing those remains are her lost son, starts speaking to. She says, "I searched for you in prison, everywhere, and now I search for you here in the dirt." Ahmed, crying, comes to Grandma. He picks up an ID by the remains. Labeled Yumal, Ahmed shows it to his grandmother. "Grandma, this isn't Dad, this is someone else." Grandma struggles. Musa brings water. Ahmed stops searching. He goes to Musa. Ahmed thanks Musa for helping them. He says that now they will go back home alone. Then Musa vows he'll surely come one day and take Ahmed to see Babylon's gardens, as Grandma once promised. Grandma forgives Musa as she leaves. They realize Musa was forced by fate. He hadn't killed anyone by choice. Afterward, Ahmed and Grandma return to Baghdad to reach their village. In Baghdad, one site draws a huge crowd. They learn a mass grave was found there too, and remains recovered from it are being returned to their families. Ahmed runs there. He sees corpses sealed in plastic bags. He stands by one body, sizes himself against it, thinking height might be his father's. He asks an official standing there if there is anyone named Ibrahim. The official says that most of the bodies could not be identified because they had no ID cards. Ahmed turns back, dejected. Then he sees his grandmother again, crying beside a body. She is utterly broken. She has no strength left to bear more pain. Ahmed helps. Home, village, sunset. Ahmed gazes out the window. After a moment, he looks at Grandma. She sits utterly silent, neck slumped to one side. Ahmed shakes her and tries to wake her up, but there is no response. Ahmed's heart starts beating fast, and when he holds his grandmother's hand, her body has turned cold, meaning that his grandmother has now left this world. His grandmother has died. Searching for her son, she entered death's embrace. Now Ahmed is utterly alone in this vast world. All gone. Ahmed, faded alone, too young. Ahmed weeps silently, takes Dad's flute, and while crying, he starts playing that flute. The car keeps moving, and Ahmed's sorrowful tune echoes throughout the neighborhood. No father. Grandma taken. Iraq. One M vanished in 40 years. Families wait at the door, but war claimed them all. Tears came to my eyes while recording this story. This film is not just a story, but the pain of thousands of families who are still searching for their loved ones. The end. Comment next movie. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also like the video.